This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by the Spice and Tea Exchange of Rehoboth.
Well, Charlie, I'm not only glad that you're back because you're feeling a little bit better than you were over the last couple days, but it's always fun to have you for Spill the Tea.
It's great to be here for Spill the Tea. I feel a little bit better, not a lot of bit better, so tea might actually do the trick for me today.
Might be just what you needed. So, as always, you can pop into the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach for a fantastic selection of delicious teas. They really have everything. I mean, whatever you need, they actually do have plenty set aside for cold symptoms, flu symptoms. So if you're feeling a little run down this season, you might want to pop in there and just, give your throat a little relief here. But Charlie, what are we drinking today? This one sounds fun. This is a creme brulee green tea with its caramelly richness. This luxurious dessert tea has just as heavenly as the real thing. You can indulge in a brew with a decadent, nutty start and a creamy cake-like finish. Yummy, sounds delicious. But of course, this is it's fun for us, but it's not so fun for the person writing in with our tea. So Charlie, why don't you get to spilling? I too will get to spilling. Was I wrong for intentionally not picking up my friends' calls? This happens pretty frequently, but I'm only now talking about it with someone else. I texted my friend tonight around 9 or 10 p.m. because we hadn't talked all day, just a normal, casual conversation. But right after I sent my text, she started calling me on FaceTime, not once, not twice, 5 times in a row while we were still texting back and forth, telling me to pick up the phone. Then she called me from a text now number. I'm guessing she thought that I'd answer a random number over hers. When that didn't work, she went right back to spam calling me on FaceTime and constantly texting me to pick up the whole time. Sometimes I'm straight up with her and say, I don't want to be on the phone at the moment. It's nothing personal. I just don't feel like it. Unfortunately, she always takes it fully personally and gets an attitude, expecting me to call back after I see that she's upset. Tonight, I just didn't feel like dealing with that energy after a long day of moving around, so I ignored it. Here's the thing, when we do get on the phone, she wants to stay on the call all day and then sleep on the phone too. It's just too much for me. I like my personal space. Was I wrong for handling things this way with my friend? What are your thoughts? There's a lot to take in. There's a lot happening here. You had given me kind of the broad strokes before we got into this. I didn't get all the details. Yeah. From the very beginning, I think that everybody in this day and age is pretty familiar with the, texting is fine right now, but maybe I don't want to have my face on the phone. I don't want to FaceTime or even call. It is a different mental load. Oh, for sure. You can be doing multiple things if you are just texting and whatever, and maybe you've had a long day. You just don't want to engage on that fully engaged level. Yeah. And I think it's okay to protect that for yourself. We'll get into the rest in a minute, but I want to hear what you have to say. I agree with you that I think it's more than okay to set that boundary with your friend. I think it sounds like in this particular area, friendship chemistry is important, and they're on 2 different pages here when it comes to how they handle talking on the phone. It's always been foreign to me, some of the people that like to FaceTime and fall asleep like with their friend's company nearby. I can see how that's a little bit much, especially if somebody is trying to maybe cut back on their screen time, or they just don't want to sleep with their phone that close to their head. They just don't want to have to be beholden to somebody else. Yeah, babysitting for an extended period of time. So I am absolutely guilty. I establish myself early and often in friendships as the person who is hard to reach sometimes because I am inconsistent in whether or not I want to pick up. I have like a pretty regular standing Sunday phone call with one of my friends. But sometimes I just don't have it in me where I'm in the middle of something else or I'm busy, and she takes no offense. So I think it's important to build those boundaries. It sounds like maybe a clear, straightforward explanation about, I don't want to be on the phone all the time. There also seems to be some codependence here because the fact that it's not just that she called to try to FaceTime, but it was not once, not twice, but 5 and 6 and 7 times. And then gets an attitude. Like it sounds like this friend might be a little manipulative. At that point, you got to be like, hey, hold on, what's happening here? Like, stop doing this. You're kind of out there in cuckoo land. Yeah. This can't be. Is there another friend you can call? This can't be the way that our relationship works. You can't just if I don't answer, there's a reason. You've got to respect that. Yep. I do think they need to have perhaps an honest conversation about respect, and I think maybe that will put them on the right path. But I feel like, unfortunately, there's not a great answer here, but I definitely feel like people they reserve the right to not pick up the phone all the time. Ultimately, the person that wrote in is on the right side of this thing, and the other person is a little far out. They are in the wrong, so let's give our creme brulee tea a try.
It is exactly what you need when you're feeling under the weather.
Oh, that does taste a little luxurious. So you can get your hands on that tea and many others. Again, right now they got a whole stash of stuff to help fight the cold, the flu, your symptoms.
You can just put some pep in your step.
Just a little something to make you feel like, okay, I can breathe. So you can pop into the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. But we have more Coast Life to get to as we gear up for the 2026 Winter Olympics, which you can tune into here on Coast TV. So we've got more of that on the way.